We have some mango trees in our village. Come visit us, and I will give you a raw mango from one to them. Do not eat it, just take a bite. The soreness is sure to go straight to the Brahmandra. I once took one such fruit home and a chutney was made out of it. All of us ate it. The cough was suffered from after that. It was when I went for the cough medicine that the doctor told me about the special quality of the fruit Brahmadantra in Canada, the soft part in a child's head where skull bones join later. Here, used as an idiomatic expression to convey the extreme potency of soreness. In Sanskrit, Brahmandra means the whole of Brahman. It is the dwelling house of the human soul. Now, when he tells the readers about their special mango trees in the village whose mangoes are famous for their special quality, he once took the fruit at home to make chutney and everyone suffered from bad cough after eating it. It was only when he went to see the doctor that he told him about the quality of mango of Hosali. The narrator asked the readers to take a bite and ensures that the soreness of the mango will be felt by them till the top of the head. Just as the mango is special, so everything else around our village. We have a creeper growing in the ever so fine water of the village pond. Its flowers at a fist to behold. Get 2 leaves from the creeper when you will go to the pond for your bath, and you will not have to worry about not having leaves on which to serve the afternoon meal. You will say I am rambling. It is always like that when the subject of our village comes up. But enough. If any one of you would like to visit us, drop me a line. I will let you know where Hosali is and what things is like there. The best way of getting to know a place is to visit it. Don't you agree? Rambling means of writing or speech, lengthy or confused. Not only the mangoes, everything in and around this village is remarkable. The creeper growing in the pond and its flower are also special. One can even serve an afternoon meal on its leaves. All you need to do is to grab 2 leaves when you are on your way to the pond to breathe. After speaking highly to his village, the narrator also says, if anyone wishes to see himself or herself, one must contact him. He will help them to reach there. Also, he feels that there is no better way to know a place than to visit it. What I am going to tell you is something that happened 10 years ago. We did not have many people who knew English then. Our village accountant was the first one who had enough courage to send his son to Bangalore to study. It is different now. There is many who know English. During the holidays, you come across them on every street talking in English. Those days we did not speak in English, nor did we bring in English words while taking in Kannada. English words while talking in Kannada. What has happened in disgraceful, believe me. The other day I was in Rama Rao's house when they bought a bundle of firewood. Rama Rao's son came out to pay for it. He asked the woman, how much should I give you? 4 pies, she said. The boy told her he did not have any change and asked her to come the next morning. The poor woman did not understand the English word change and went away muttering to herself. I too did not know. Later, when I went to Ranga's house and asked him, I understood what it meant. Now the narrator then brings about the comparison as to how things were different 10 years ago when not many people knew or spoke English. Neither did people send their children to go big cities like Bangalore to study. Now, back then, only the village accountant had the courage to send his son to Bangalore. According to the author, those times were simpler. He justifies his claim by telling the incident where he was in Rama's Rao house and they had just bought a bundle of firewood from an old lady. And Rama told her to come next morning as he did not have any change at the moment. So the poor old lady did not know what change meant and she went away whispering to herself. Neither did the narrator know its meaning. It was only when he went to Ranga's house that he told him. This priceless commodity, the English language, was not so widespread in our village a decade ago. That was why Ranga's homecoming was a great event. People rushed to his doorsteps announcing, "The accountant's son has come. The boy who had gone to Bangalore for his studies is here. It seems, and come, Ranga is here. Let's go have a look." Now, 10 years ago, English was not commonly spoken in this village, and when the villagers came to know that Ranga, the accountant's son, was coming home from Bangalore, everyone got excited and rushed to his home to have a glance at him, have a look at him. Attracted by the crowd, I went and stood in the courtyard and asked, "Why have all these people come? There is no performing monkey here." A boy, a fellow without any brains, said loud enough for everyone to hear, "What are you doing here?" Then a youngster, immature and without any manners, thinking that all these things were now of the past, I kept quiet. Now the people were very fascinated, the narrator too, and went there and asked people as to why they were gathered because he couldn't see anything entertaining happening there, like a monkey performance. A boy without brains shouted loud enough for everyone to hear and in a rude way. The narrator called him immature. Seeing so many people there, Ranga came out with a smile on his face. Had we all gone inside, the place would have turned into what people call the black hole of Calcutta. Thank God it did not. Everyone was surprised to see that Ranga was the same as he had been 6 months ago, when he had first left our village. An old lady who was near him ran her hand over his chest, looked into his eyes and said, "The Janavra is still there. He hasn't lost his caste." She went away soon after that. Ranga laughed. Now, Janavra means the scared thread worn by Brahmins. In Hindi we call them Janev. All the people were waiting outside Ranga's house because the place would look like the black hole of Calcutta. If they all went inside, by saying this, the narrator means that there were so many people that the house would have fallen short of space. So Ranga came outside with a smile on his face. Everyone was so amazed to see that Ranga had not changed a bit after he left 6 months ago. An old lady even went to the extent of running her hands through his chest and checked for a sacred thread. However, she went away after confirming that he had not forgotten about his caste. Once they realized that Ranga still had the same hands, leg, eyes, nose, the crowd melted away like a lump of sugar in a child's mouth. I continued to stand here. After everyone had gone, I asked, "How are you, Rangappa? Is everything well with you?" It was only then that Ranga noticed me. He came near me and did a namaskar respectfully, saying, "I am all right, with your blessings." Now, when the villager realized that Ranga did not change even after moving to the city, they disappeared as fast as lump of sugar does in the child's mouth. So the narrator waited till the crowd cleared and asked him about his well-being, and Ranga noticed him and replied with full respect in a traditional way. Ranga had not noticed the narrator in the crowd before that moment. I must draw your attention to this aspect of Ranga's character. He knew when it would be to his advantage to talk to someone and rightly assess people's worth. As for his namaskara to me, he did not do it like any present day boy. With his head up towards the sun, standing stiff like a pole without joints, jerking his body as if it was either a wand or a walking stick. Nor did he merely fold his hands. He bent low to touch my feet. May you get married soon. May you get married soon, I said, blessing him. After exchanging a few pleasantries, I left. Now Ranga was very well behaved and well aware as to who could benefit him. So he was one of those who could analyze someone's worth rightfully. For how he greeted the narrator and he bent low and touched his feet, thereby seeking his blessings. It was not the present day namaskara where children would do it casually. It was a proper traditional one, and the narrator blessed him that he might get married soon and then left.